Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says simplify the following radical expression, okay? So we're gonna need to simplify, and if you notice right now, the radical refers to the square root symbol, okay? So what we're gonna need to do, and I know what you're thinking, Miss, I can just put that in the calculator, it will give me an answer. Yes, and I'm so sure that you guys can use the calculator to find which one matches A, B, C, or D, right? But since we're trying to learn something, right, you can use the calculator to double check that you got the right answer. So how are we gonna find, or how are we gonna simplify my radical expression? Well, I'm gonna write down my problem here. And there's different ways to do it. I like doing it by using the tree diagram, okay? And the reason for that is because there will be no way that we can forget any prime numbers for that. So this is what I do. I write down the 75, then I'm gonna start breaking it like into two branches, right? And I said, give me two factors for 75. You guys are welcome to just get the calculator and divide 75 divided by 2. If you don't get a whole number, let's suppose you get a decimal, then we cannot use it, right? So 2 doesn't work. What about 3? Divide 75 divided by 3. And I bet you're gonna say, yes, miss, that would be equals to 3 times 25. Is that right? Okay, so what we're gonna do next is I want you to think about 3. Can you find me two factors for 3? And if you say, miss, that's the only thing that I can find is 1 times 3, then that's how you know that we're done with the number 3. And that if you recognize that one also as a prime number, then you should know that that's where we stop. Okay, now how about 25? Well, 25 can be equals to 5 times 5, right? And if you say, can I break down the 5 again? Like, can I find two numbers that when I multiply them gives me a 5? And if the answer is just 1 times 5, then we're done. That is your prime number, okay? So my numbers here could be, and I'm going to accept 1 times 3. I'm totally fine. That'll be 1 times 3 times 5 times 5. If you multiply all of that, it should be equals to 75. So we're going to come back to my problem. And I'm going to write down all those numbers inside the radical. So I have 1 times 3 times 5 times 5. Is that right? Now, how do I know what step can I do next? If you can find me a pair with the same numbers, then that number can be brought outside the radical. And that would be 5, right, guys? Because 5 times 5 was 25. Is that right? So I'm going to bring one of the 5's outside the radical. And inside the radical, it will be whatever I did not circle, which is 1 times 3. Is that right? So my answer actually will be 5 square root of 3. Because the 1 times 3 is still going to give me a 3, right? And that should be the answer, guys. So take a look at the answer choices. Can you find me the answer for that? Yes, it's letter C, right? So the prime factorization, which I did on the right side, is a very good way to help you find or actually break down your number into a prime numbers, okay?